I'll suggest to look on Gumtree.
I searched Gumtree to find a house.
Gumtree, which was pretty good.
It was really hard when you come here and don't have a room. That's the first thing you really want to try to settle in, because it's like different culture, different cities. So first thing you need is a room.
The thing is that you need to start searching very earlier, because when you're here it's hard to get a house, because there are also many people looking for it. So that could be a bit complicated.
I know some people who found absolutely incredible accommodation through Gumtree.
You could probably look on Gumtree or something, but a lot of people stayed in hostels for like weeks before they found a place, so good luck.
I think if you're mega rich and money doesn't matter, go for a college.
When I arrived in Perth, at the airport there was a man from UWA that came and picked us up and brought us to all the different colleges. So they brought me right to St. Catharines, which was really nice because I didn't have to worry about how to find where I was living or trying to find a place right when I got here. So that was one really good thing about St. Catharines, that I didn't have to deal with the stress of trying to find accommodation. Once I got here, I knew I had a place to sleep and eat and shower, which was really nice. But it's really expensive. I think I could have found somewhere cheaper if I just put a little more effort in. But when we first got there, it was orientation week, and at first I was really nervous about it, and I was really scared that I wasn't going to meet anyone.
I was determined to join all the social events to meet as many people as possible.
I just decided to sign up for everything, just go along with everything that's going to happen.
I'll definitely suggest to go to orientation week and do all the activities that the university has to offer, because it's the best instance to get to know like the people that are here for exchange, so you can make new friends.
I think the best thing to do during orientation week is to go on the outings that they organize.
Orientation week was a pretty good week. I really enjoyed it.
The Uni Mentor is really helpful as well.
I think Uni Mentor can be really good.
Uni Mentor was really helpful.
I would suggest doing Connect Me and Uni Mentor.
I wanted to ask questions before I went here, and that was really cool as well, because I had a really nice group and there I also met really nice people.
It's nice to know that you always have someone to email and talk to if you're having trouble or need advice. So it's definitely a good program to get to know someone who has already experienced life at UWA and can kind of show you the ropes.
Just join a week, join all the activities, and join Uni Mentor, and you'll meet people.
The best thing to do here is to join the PI club and be part of the exchange group in Facebook.
Perth International is a really good thing to do.
Perth International is a great club for getting to know other people.
I've got to know the exchange students much better through Perth International.
It's like the best instance to get to know people.
Everyone's just really good-spirited and friendly, and it's a really great way to meet people.
The exchange Facebook group has been useful for connecting people.
Everyone posts on it, so that you know what's happening, and you could meet and come up with events and stuff to do with all the exchange students.
I think that was one of the most important resources here when I came to Australia. Is actually the Facebook page. It's really helpful.
Yeah, I think it's nice because sometimes they give like ideas of what's going on.
It's a great way to find out about different things that people are doing.
If you don't join in, you might miss stuff.
So it's a great way to make sure people get the experience and you get to know people and know what's going on.
Yeah, it's really nice. I would definitely recommend it.
You get to know more friends and you get really close to them. So I would definitely recommend to join the Facebook group and the PI thing.
That was definitely the way I met most of my closest friends, so I would definitely recommend them.
It's so important that you actually participate in those things, because that's the only way you kind of is the easiest way to get to know people and make friends. So if it wasn't for introduction week, I would I would be a loner here. Sign up for everything in introduction week and sign up for all the stuff that's not just like to connect me at UWA, but also like Perth International, sports, activities, everything. Just go for it. It's going to be tiring and you're going to meet a lot of people. You're not going to remember their names, but it's definitely worth it.
I knew it was expensive, but it's still shocking. And even after 2.5 months, it's still hard.
Perth is really, really, really expensive.
It's so expensive. Everything's ridiculously expensive.
It's really expensive.
It's really expensive here.
So expensive.
Money in Perth is quite difficult to save.
Smart Rider is definitely the best decision you can make in terms of transportation.
You should get a smart rider.
Smart rider, smartest thing you can get.
It really does save you a lot.
Definitely get a smart rider or a bike.
I have a bike and I always ride to everywhere.
Bike, definitely, I would.
I recommend you to do that because with the bike you are more independent to do whatever you want to.
I would rather use the reserves in the library for textbooks because you can scan them and then print them out or just send them to yourself and read them online. So it would save you a bundle.
I don't buy my textbooks.
I go to the library, to the reserve, and I just scan them and print them.
I didn't bought any textbook. I think they're way too expensive, and since I'm here for one semester, I don't think I will need it. So whenever I want to study, I just go to a library, start reading, or take some photocopies or scan the books and send them to my email as PDFs.
I didn't find buying a textbook very useful because there's so much information available elsewhere.
You can study like here in uni without having to spend the amount of money you need to for every book here. So that's the way I do it, and I think it's very good.
Buying drinks out in clubs or bars is really expensive. No one can really afford that. So a good alternative is to get a few drinks in you before you go out at like someone's house or in the dorms.
I don't buy a lot of drinks just because it's so expensive.
If you want to get drunk, just go for the cheapest option.
I would suggest getting a job just because everything here is so expensive.
If you are motivated and feel like you have time and find a job that suits you, definitely.
I have a job and it's the best thing I did here because Perth is really, really, really expensive.
You still get a crazy amount of money because the minimum wage is so high.
Minimum wage is a lot higher, so people are making like $15 to $22 an hour, and like, that would be so helpful.
You get paid a lot because the minimum wage is very high, so you can have the money to do all the things you want. So you should definitely get a job here.
I wish I had gotten one.
I have quite a study-intensive course, then it's probably not a good idea to get a job. But then if you find that you have a lot of free time and not enough money, then obviously get a job.
It definitely saves a lot of money to cook.
Try to cook for yourself.
A lot of the cafes and like places to get food are really expensive, so I find it a lot easier to pack a lunch.
To save money also, instead of going out to eat, I'd go to the grocery store.
Going out for dinner is mental as well. I've been out for dinner once and it cost me $100.
The restaurant's so expensive. Of course you have to make your own meal.
It saves a bunch of money.
You should make your own food. Bring your own food to school.
It saves a lot of money, definitely. Everybody here, when they're in their semester, should at least once rent a camper van or car and go for a trip for a week, like either before, during, or after the semester.
So renting a car or getting it from a friend, it's a good idea if you want to travel. So I'll definitely recommend that.
A few of us decided to rent a car and go up north to see the pinnacles and the sand dunes in Lancelin.
We rented a camper van to go up north for 10 days during the spring break.
It was just really beautiful.
Over spring break, I went to Bali, which was awesome.
I went to Albany for one of my units.
I mean, I went scuba diving and saw sharks, which was exciting.
It was nice. It wasn't bad. I got to see a different culture.
I think it's the best thing to do during your spring break in Perth.
On spring break, I went down south, went to Hayden, I went to Albany, I went to Denmark and to Margaret River.
It was a really cool experience.
It's very, very fun.
I signed up for the UWA Handball Club and went to uni games. Being a part of the handball team really improved and really made my stay here in Australia a better experience. And I would definitely recommend everyone to go. It's worth it.
My plan is to fly to the East Coast, to Melbourne, visit Melbourne and Sydney.
I think I'm gonna travel around the East Coast.
After classes end and my final exams are done, I plan on going to the East Coast and traveling from Cairns to Sydney.
So I want to explore West Australia and then go to the East Coast and just see as much of Australia as I possibly can do.
I want to travel through Southeast Asia, so that would be a cool trip to do.
Any other advice I'd give to people coming here?
Try to do as many things as you can, because studying abroad is such a great opportunity that you probably only have once, so you might as well take advantage of it while you have it.
I'll suggest people to travel as much as they can while they're here. You can go up north or down south, it doesn't matter, but because Australia has a lot to offer, and you have to take the chance while you're here to try to travel as much as you can.
Treat it like a holiday, because it is one.
Just do the trips that you want to do, because you're only in Australia once.